possessed by a demon in 1973. Then, 15 years later, possessed again? But this time, it's not Pazuzu. Is it an evil spirit? Maybe she's possessed by a witch. Or maybe she's possessed by a deadite. Did you know Linda Blair, who played Regan in The Exorcist, was technically in an Evil Dead sequel? Well, not technically, but in Italy? Yeah, it's close enough. You see, when The Evil Dead released overseas, they titled it La Casa. Evil Dead 2 became La Casa 2, and here's where things get interesting. Army of Darkness was still years away, but the Italian market wanted more. So what did they do? They grabbed a completely unrelated haunted house movie about a creepy girl and her evil doll. They slapped the title La Casa 3 on it and released it as an official sequel. And in America, we know that movie as Ghost House. I actually covered it years ago. It's one of those delightfully chaotic Italian horror films with bad acting, a nonsense script, and wild set pieces. Fun fact, it was filmed in the same house from Lucio Fulci's The House by the Cemetery. Now you would think that Italian audiences would be furious that it had absolutely nothing to do with the Evil Dead. There's no ash, no deadites, nothing even remotely connected. So, how did the Italian market react? Well, good enough apparently, because the producers pulled the same exact trick again. Yep, another unrelated movie, another bootleg sequel. So let me introduce you to La Casa 4, known in America as Witchery, from 1989. The distributor slapped so many titles on this bad boy that it's hard to keep track. In the UK, it was titled Witchcraft, Evil Encounters. In some markets, it was sold as Ghost House 2, and in the bootleg world, it was even passed around as none other than The Evil Dead 4. At least this time around, the producers brought in some recognizable American talent. As mentioned, we have Linda Blair, and we also have David Hasselhoff. And let me just say this, I wish the movie gave us Hasselhoff in an Ash Williams type role. Try to tell me that a chainsaw-handed Hasselhoff wouldn't be the coolest thing ever. Spoilers, it doesn't happen, and it never will. But a guy can dream, right? Witchery begins with a woman being chased by townsfolk dressed in black cloaks. Desperate, she clutches an amulet and flees into an abandoned hotel. Awesome music kicks in as she races upstairs, only for the townspeople to corner her there. Rather than being captured, she throws herself out the window, and suddenly, Linda Blair wakes up from a nightmare. Linda Blair plays Jane, a pregnant woman, and even though she's supposed to be pregnant, she's still incredibly attractive. Insert cat call here. While out running errands, she spots a mysterious woman dressed in black, holding the same amulet from her dream. The woman's presence distracts Jane just long enough for a metal support beam to fall nearby. A near-death experience she survives only because the woman in black seemingly saves her. And before Jane can go and thank her, she vanishes. We then meet Jane's family. Her parents are planning to purchase the same abandoned hotel and convert it into an exclusive members-only club. They contact a real estate agent named Linda. No, not Blair, a different Linda, referred to them by a mysterious friend.
You said you got my name from the Taylors? I don't know anyone named Taylor.
Meanwhile, we learn that the hotel isn't as empty as everyone thinks. A writer named Leslie is staying there to work on her book about witchcraft. She's accompanied by her photographer boyfriend Gary, played by David Hasselhoff. Gary is hoping for some romantic action, but Leslie is a virgin and intends to stay that way. Gary responds with manipulative comments about being worried about her, but we all know he's only worried about getting the goods. Soon, Jane, her parents, her younger brother Tommy, Linda, the realtor, and a bank representative take a boat to the island to tour the hotel. As they arrive, Gary and Leslie scramble to hide since they don't really have permission to be there. While the group explores the hotel, the boat operator is attacked, hung from the sail by the mysterious woman in black. With their boat gone, the group now is completely stranded. Eventually, the two groups discover each other and reluctantly team up. From here, the supernatural chaos begins. Jane is pulled underwater in a bathtub, nearly drowning. Jane's mother is sucked into a laundry chute, vanishing completely. Each victim is targeted according to their sins: greed, lust, vanity, etc. The woman in black transports each character into a dreamlike witch realm, a foggy void filled with cheap but atmospheric effects. Almost every kill follows the same structure. The victim wanders off alone. They're transported to the witch world, punished according to their sin, then tortured, and their soul is harvested. Now, there are some highlights that shine through the predictability though. Like, one character has their mouth sewn shut. Another is killed by a swordfish to the neck. Yeah, a mounted swordfish. And someone is even burned alive on an upside down cross. As the bodies pile up, the remaining survivors desperately look for an escape. Maybe a helicopter, a rowboat, anything that gets them off the island. Meanwhile, the woman in black continues performing rituals that reveal her motivations. Will the survivors escape? What is the woman in black's plan? And will the evil spill out into the real world? Find out in Witchery. So that was Witchery. As a sequel to La Casa, aka the Evil Dead franchise, does it live up to the source material? Absolutely not. But as a sequel to Ghost House, better, but nowhere really close. Realistically, it works best as a standalone film, assuming you even want to watch it at all. Now, I didn't hate Witchery, but I didn't love it either. It sits right in the middle for me, and here's why. First up, let's talk about the easy stuff. Let's talk about the bad. Now, for the most part, the acting is mostly passable, but some performances are painfully bad. Leslie delivers her lines with the emotional range of a dial tone.
Common denominator in all the mystery cults. Blood of a virgin.
And young Tommy, he's right up there with Bob from The House by the Cemetery, which is not a compliment.
Jane! Not Tommy! It's not Jane!
Some of the visual effects are rough. The Witch World sequences feel like leftover fog machine set pieces. Dark, empty, and totally uninspired. It never feels like a tangible world, just a cheap backdrop. The script is also so weak. It's basically an old dark house setup with witchcraft sprinkled on top. The characters come from different walks of life, which could have been interesting, but none of that potential is ever used. Everyone is a stock stereotype with zero depth. Like, why won't Leslie have sex? Is it important beyond the ending? And why is Jane pregnant? Where's the father? Why does no one bring it up? It all feels like the writers were checking off boxes for the finale rather than building actual characters. Yeah, I hear you yelling, "It's an Italian horror movie, you dummy," and yeah, I agree. Normally, I don't complain about character work in Italian horror. You don't watch Italian horror for that. Dream logic, atmosphere, gore, synth music, that's what you come for. And on that level, Witchery does deliver enough to qualify as Italian horror. Just nowhere near the quality of Fulci, Argento, Lenzi, or Bava. Maybe I had too high of expectations for the involvement of Blair and Hasselhoff. You would think that they would only sign on for a movie that they thought was somewhat decent, or at least have their performances elevate the whole movie, and I guess to be fair, they do elevate it a bit, but even with them, the movie still struggles mightily. That's it. I am so done with talking about the bad. Let's talk about the good now. The setting is gorgeous. The abandoned coastal hotel is eerie, atmospheric, and easily the best part of the film. And while the movie isn't great, it does have a breezy popcorn feel to it. Like gore, silly effects, a possessed Linda Blair, there's entertainment value here, especially with friends on a bad movie night. It's no surprise that I didn't love Witchery, but I did enjoy parts of it. Blair and Hasselhoff make the movie worth watching at least once. But beyond that, the film doesn't offer much to keep my interest. So honestly, can't believe I'm saying this, but I prefer The Evil Dead 3. No, not the real one. I prefer this Evil Dead 3. Thanks so much for watching, and stay spooky, everyone.